When you decided to join the military, you came away with a couple things: back pain, bad pay while you're in, and then everyone telling you you're not doing it for the money. Look, you're not trying to hear that while you're in, but you did come away with a couple of good benefits, and as a fellow veteran, I can tell you one of the best ones is going to be the VA loan. In this video, I want to go over everything that you're going to need to know to get yourself ready and eligible to see if you're going to be approved for the VA loan, and also go over a key few myths that have been said along the way that I can debunk from personal experience. My name is George Rodriguez with eXp Realty, and allow me a few moments a day to be your realtor. So what is a VA loan? It's a mortgage loan that's backed by the Department of Veteran Affairs and funded by the federal government. Now, this is going to be your golden ticket, your holy grail to save you tens of thousands of dollars in upfront costs and month-to-month costs in terms of your mortgage interest rate. Sounds crazy, right? Well, you may have not gotten paid while you're in the military, but now that you're out, here's your congratulations from one veteran to another. The benefits of a VA loan absolutely crush everything in terms of traditional financing, and it's not even close when it comes to purchasing a home. With a VA loan, you're gonna have $0 down associated when purchasing your property, and that is standard. Now, with the FHA being at 3.5% down and a conventional being at 3% down, just to give you context, if you're going to purchase a $500,000 home for a conventional loan, minimum, you're gonna be coming in with $15,000, and then FHA, you're gonna be coming in with $17.5 thousand just to get started, and we haven't got even into closing costs associated with the property. Yeah, it's no joke when it comes to this, and it keeps getting better. When it comes to your interest rates, they're going to be lower than the conventional and FHA every single time, and if they're not, I highly suggest that you speak to another lender, because in most cases the VA loan is going to be lower in terms of your interest rates because they just get the best rates every single time. But you guessed it, the pros only continue. With the VA loan, you're not going to have any private mortgage insurance or PMI associated with your monthly mortgage payment. Now, everyone else that doesn't have 20% down to put on their property is going to have to pay an additional amount to their monthly mortgage payment. Now, to put it into context, on that $500,000 purchase, you would need to have 20% down or 100 grand to avoid that monthly addition to your mortgage payment. To put it into perspective, if you are not eligible for the VA loan, your monthly payment is to be drastically different in comparison to those that are. Meaning, for that $500,000 purchase, and let's just say your PMI is at 0.5% of the purchase price, just for quick context, it's going to be $2,500 annually you're going to have to pay an additional to your monthly mortgage payment, and divide that by 12, it's like $208.33 additional a month. So your payment is going to be drastically different from those that are eligible for a VA loan and those that are not. Now, with all these upfront and monthly savings, now you're able to target the closing costs that are always going to be associated with any mortgage program, because the closing costs are going to be as follows. It's going to be your lender fees, it's going to be your escrow fees, your first month's mortgage payment, and then prepaid property taxes associated with the property that you're desiring to purchase. Now, you may be mentally thinking, well, that sounds like a lot of money that I'm gonna have to pay in the back end. Well, that's very true. It's going to be, but this is where you're able to have the seller pay for those closing costs when you have good representation and you negotiate that in your purchase contract. And that's where good representation, like myself, comes into play, because now you can truly have that zero down experience, where in most cases, most of the veterans that I've helped with generally always walk in with a zero down purchase, and they just walk in for free. Beautiful thing for just serving, huh? The next thing I'm sure everyone's wondering, well, the eligibility. I've served, I put on the uniform. What's it gonna take for me to get in? Well, in most cases, you're gonna be just fine the way you are if you've served your contract. Now, if you had a dishonorable discharge, you smoked a little reefer, or you got kicked out for whatever reason, I'm sorry, but these benefits will not be attributed to you. But you knew that, of course. Now, with this eligibility, it's gonna be as follows. Now, you are gonna need a honorable discharge for your DD-214, but veterans who've served 90 consecutive days of active service during wartime, or 181 days of active service during peacetime, or 6 years in the reserves and the National Guard. Yes, that's a little conundrum of a lot of criteria may be needed, but of course, if you served your time, you got your DD-214 and your honorable discharge, trust me, brother, sister, you're gonna be just fine. And to be continued, I mean, I don't wish this upon anybody, but for the spouses of service members that have died in service or have died due to a service-related injury, you may also be eligible to use this, but of course, I don't wish that upon anybody. But of course, that is gonna be one criterion if you are a spouse that is in that situation in terms of the eligibility for a VA loan. The next thing is, well, we have to apply for the loan now, right? We can't just say, hey, give me the loan. Well, technically you can, but when it comes to the application process of a VA loan, you're gonna need your certificate of eligibility. You have your criteria of eligibility. Now you need to actually get to the process of applying for the loan. There's gonna be one document that you are going to need, and that's going to be your certificate of eligibility, and you're going to get that from the VA. The certificate of eligibility is going to be exactly as what it says. It's going to be your eligibility to use the VA loan, and this is what you're going going to give the lender of your choice and choosing that you're actually able to use this benefit, and the application process for this can actually begin. Now, when it comes to picking a lender, you can choose anyone. You can choose family, friends, referral, as long as they're licensed in your area. But of course, you don't have to pick a lender that has like military or veteran or VA associated with their title of their company. I don't want to have that as a misconception. Anyone can do a VA loan. The only criterion that I will bestow of knowledge upon you is make sure they know what they're talking about. You don't want to use someone that just talks out of their ass. You want to make sure that they actually know what they're talking about and they're going to give you the true and right information so that you're able to make the correct decision for yourself or your family. And now that you've chosen your lender, now they're going to verify everything. They're going to verify what you've put on your taxes. If you made a certain amount of money, I hope you put it on your taxes because it has to be verifiable. If you have a ton of money underneath your bed, they're going to be like, where'd you get it from? Well, you may have to explain how you got the certain money, or you can say it was a gift. You can do whatever you want. They're going to go through and verify what you say is true and real, and also check your credit to assume that you have the credit necessary to actually proceed forward in this loan application. Now, of course, the VA doesn't have any credit score minimums, so of course that can be a positive for some. But if you don't have at least a 620 credit score, I'm gonna tell you right now, I personally wouldn't trust you with $20. What makes you think that the lender is gonna trust you with $500,000? Now, you'd probably get destroyed monthly in terms of your interest rate, but of course, do yourself a favor, get that handled, and then go talk to somebody about getting approved for your VA loan. Now, congratulations, you did all that. You just got your pre-approval for the purchase of a property you're choosing. Let's just say you had $500,000 in your pre-approval. It doesn't mean you need to use all $500,000, okay? Some need to budget a little bit. Now, of course, that's gonna be your own choosing and how you decide to use your monthly financing to your benefit or potential detriment. So as a veteran myself, I'm gonna give you some tips to actually save some stress in your life that I personally faced myself. When you're using the VA loan or any loan in general, make sure you get multiple pre-approvals and make lenders compete for your business. When you have a single pre-approval here, if you bring another pre-approval to that lender, I guarantee you that they may change the interest rate a little lower, maybe give you $1,000, or change things to make them the choice for you when you're deciding to do your home buying process. So always get multiple pre-approvals. I know it's a lot sending over all those documents over and over and over, but trust me, it's going to save you thousands of dollars down the road. Now, of course, I know I said this earlier, but when it comes to your pre-approval, you do not need to max that baby out. Like, just because you got that $500,000, $800,000 pre-approval doesn't mean you need to take it to the full extent. Of course, you can do whatever you want to do. It is your money at the end of the day, but of course, there's the old adage that sometimes military, sometimes they don't make the best financial decisions. And I've been there myself, and I can speak from personal experience, okay? I was not the one that bought that Mustang at $800 a month for your car payment, okay? But trust me, it does happen, and sometimes that truck went to Mexico and never got back, okay? I'm not gonna say who it was. So every county in America is going to have their own cap and what you're going to be eligible to actually borrow for the VA loan. Now, in Washington, in Pierce-King County, it's going to be $977,500 is going to be your total allowable limit for the VA loan. Now, I was lied to back in the day. When I bought my first home in 2018, I was lied to. I was told that you couldn't buy multiple homes in a single VA entitlement. Total lie. You can buy as many homes as you want that is going to be under that cap. So $977,500, you can easily buy 2 homes and have that with no PMI and a low interest rate. It's totally possible. You just have a seasoning of a year that you need to live there as your primary residence. And after you fulfill that, feel free and do whatever you want. If you want to buy another property, you can do so, and do not allow anyone to tell you differently. You just have to figure out how you're going to do your living situation, how you plan to do it, and you can buy another home the following year if you wanted to. And lastly, if you wanted to house hack, you can do that with the VA loan. The VA loan isn't intended to be an investment loan. You cannot buy a property with the intention of just renting it out. Now, if you're going to buy a multifamily, a duplex, triplex, or even a fourplex, which is the highest amount you can go, you're able to house hack, live in one, because it's technically going to be a primary residence, and rent out the other 3 units, or however many it's going to be, when you're deciding to actually use this VA loan. So it's a rather smart thing to do if you're actually going to be deciding to use this as a tool to assist you in actually having a wealthy future on the way. If you're finding anything in this video at all helpful, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button, as it does help me, but it also helps your fellow veterans and everybody in the locals to help them with more knowledge to assist them moving forward. So be a kind individual and do what you got to do. Overall, these benefits cannot be touched in comparison when it does come to the traditional financing methods, which is why it's the ultimate gift from America to you, the service member, if you are deciding to use these loan benefits. Now, if you find yourself in a position where you're going to be buying or selling real estate and actually using your VA benefits, do not hesitate. My contact information is going to be down below, and I do my best to get back to everyone that does reach out. And also, if you just need specified questions, I love helping my fellow veterans because I've been there myself. I had questions and I didn't have anybody to ask. And when I had someone, believe me, I annoyed them beautifully. But it was all in good manner because now here I am where I am. Now, my name is George Rodriguez with eXp Realty, and you have a good day.
This seems to work for you. Yeah.